that worked the last time.
Okay.
And are you ready?
Yes, let's do it.
Okay, 1 second. Blast me hearties and welcome once again to Full Stream Ahead. I be your captain, Charlie the Professor Esser, and with me as always is me first mate and skinny rich friend.
It's Mozz.
Welcome, Mozz, and welcome to a world of capes and lunatics, of gods and monsters, of haunted castles, and the Whispers of Nockmaar. Season 1, Episode 4, The Whispers of Nockmaar, Willow's big adventure as they journey leads them into seek refuge in the haunted castle of Nockmaar. And you know it is evil because I am talking weirdly. Director Debs Patterson this week. Julia Cooperman gets that written by credit. Jonathan Kasdan gets that developed by credit. And George Lucas gets our based on characters created by credit. Meanwhile, John Bickerstaff gets that uncredited staff writer's credit because he is the hardest working man in show business. Meanwhile, back at the castle, our good friend Graydon Hastur has been infected by the lich, and so they must chain him up and seek out a method to remove the lich from him. But the only place that they can find that knowledge to remove a spirit of evil is in the tomes of evil in the very castle Nockmaar.
Yeah, that was interesting to me. When they cut away to that, I was like, wait a second. Did they go back to the village to get this book? Because he says, like, oh, that must be in this book. And I just happened to have it. But I guess it was a castle of evil, batteries included.
And that was sort of that was his basic statement. It's like if we're gonna there could be a spell to do that, but it would be a very dark and evil spell. And as luck would have it, I know where such a book might be. You know? Well, exactly. And that's the point of it, is like they have to come in here and they have to find this book of ancient and dark magics, because that is how you have to fight dark magic, apparently. And I get the feeling that there is going to be an aspect of this story that we're going to be seeing play out about why the spells are important. And part of me wonders if, as it were, the wild magic is too prone to corruption. That if you, because we're going to see something a little bit later, by the end of this, when we really get the revelations going, but where that really scares Willow, when Alora uses her powers without the spell. But before we get there, we're getting into the difficulties of this all. The need to create the tinctures and the alchemical concoction that we need to remove the threat from Graydon.
Now everybody seems to be experiencing
hallucinations. It still says it's recording on my side. Okay.
I think we're just gonna have to deal with it. So the last thing you said was to remove the curse from Graydon, right? Okay,
I heard you say. What was the last thing you said?
You said remove the curse from Graydon, and then I said something, but I don't know if it was caught, and I paused it right after it.
Okay.
So last thing you said was remove the thing from, and I was about to say, what did I say? Hold on a second. Remove the curse from Graydon. She's that.
Yeah, because I thought you said something, and I said that I said that, and then anyway, but we'll take it from there.
Okay. Hold on one second. Let me see if I can find it. So what was the last thing you said before I said what I said?
Well, I know that I was talking about, they needed to get the tinctures and the alchemicals.
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
In fact, we recorded all of the little back and forth there. So
did we? Oh, okay. All right. So we'll fix that in post.
We'll fix it. Well, someone will, I hope.
Yeah. No, I'll cut it. But what I found was interesting was that he was so involved with getting these tinctures and all these things together, but it didn't end up mattering at all. That's not how they solved the problem at all. So it makes me wonder, was it really anything he was doing at all? Or was he also experiencing some sort of a hallucination? Because I found it strange that everybody was experiencing this thing where they're revisiting their fears and revisiting things that take them off track. What if that also was something that his brain was occupied by, not by its own accord, but being influenced by something?
Well, I think the book was real because other people are seeing it.
Well, no, yeah, but I mean, he could have just been convinced that some spell is going to do it. And they went and looked up that spell, found the spell, but it was a fool's errand.
I mean, it's possible, although, it's hard to tell because it does seem to be working, and the real. So, and this is one of these things that kind of, when we're getting into this, there is a moment where because they're like just saying, well, we're going to have to kill him. And Allura doesn't want to have to kill him, and there's even a great thing about what's her name, Kit. Yeah, Kit says I'll do it with all of her classic bravado, and Thraxis makes the point, no, you won't. You won't, because it's hard to kill a man who's not fighting back, who's not resisting you,
who's not trying to kill you. Right.
Yes, exactly.
I just found that like right off the beginning, they open up with the memory of Kit knowing what her bloodline is. Right. So I was like, oh, that's really fascinating. And it puts a whole different spin on why she has such bad feelings towards Allura, because deep down inside, she knows she's not worthy of this. She comes from the evil that they're supposedly going to try to fight. And Allura is supposed, and it puts a whole different layer of why she doesn't. She's just racked with sort of guilt. And the way she deals with it is by being distant and aloof and too cool for school.
Yes. And that does appear to be the case, without a doubt. And I think that's also kind of cool in its own right, too. That she is
cool or kind of cruel?
Kind of cool.
Oh, okay.
That she is, I mean, it's cool that she has a thing to deal with. It's cool that she has busy work,
Right. But man, it's easy to not like her.
Yeah.
Because, my God, like, okay, Allura's over there taking care of your fiance, or whatever it is. But like, if you've given into, like, you were ready to marry him when your mom said yada, yada, yada. But if you want to make that work, there's an opportunity to build a bridge with somebody. He's in pain. Why don't I take care of him? And meanwhile, Allura's over there taking care of him. And she's like, yeah, you know what? Why don't we just kill him? We should just kill him. We're going to have to kill him. We should just, maybe we should kill him.
Yeah. Well, exactly. And this is the problem we're dealing with. Kit definitely has issues, and she doesn't know how to deal with them at all. And that is really the biggest problem of the whole thing. As we're going through, everyone is having these visions. Everyone is seeing what they think they are seeing. And it is It is interesting, but what was interesting to me was when they tell Allura that she has to do this, that she's the only one with the power to cast out the evil spirit. She says, "I can't do that. I couldn't even get the huckleberry to grow." And when she says that, they cut to Kit, and you see this little smirk on her face, which is, again, something that just makes you not like her. On a very deep and emotional level, you just don't like her. She is clearly not helping the team. And, I guess it's just weird to me that they would make her that unlikable.
Yeah, I guess, they got to walk the journey from somewhere to somewhere, right? So this is from where she starts. So it's pretty ugly.
Yeah. Well, she's, she is, this is, I think this is something that is interesting that we do see in a lot of shows, where they want to make some of these characters seem more real. And part of being real is being kind of a jerk. And that there are a lot, especially when you're dealing with teen characters, they will be jerks. They will be jerkwads.
I gotta say, I gotta give up kudos to the actress who plays that character, because man, she's sticking it up.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is that is what she's doing, and she's doing a good job at it. So good for her. Good for her on all those levels.
Is another great little moment. It must have been fun, like, coming from the actor's perspective, to play those moments and to play those emotions. Because then, like, it was such a cool moment, I thought, when she's talking to, what's the name of the girl that they have the hots for?
Jade.
Jade. She's talking to Jade, and she goes over there and she tries to comfort her by saying, "Hey, you did what you had to do." But you did get the sense that she was trying to justify what she just said out there, and was trying to make her see, we all would have done, so it's not, I wasn't a bad person. Maybe we should kill him.
Yeah. Well, and and of course, doesn't even comprehend what Jade went through when she had to kill him.
Right. And I love that she throws it in her face, and she gets it thrown in her face several times this episode. First here from Jade, but she's like, "Man, stop being a poser. Leave me alone. Can I just go deal with it? I don't have time to pretend like you're somebody. Leave me alone." I was like, wow.
Yeah, and that's what it comes down to. This is as much, I think, about Kit's journey as it is about anyone's. Because I do know that it is eventually going to be Allura's, and we are going to see everybody's backstory unfold. But what I really thought was neat is we do see Allura's birth, and we see Allura's mom looking at her, and at the birth we see Allura's mom, and it actually makes me want to go back and watch Willow again, because there was a part of me that was like, wait, did she say those lines in the original film? Did she say, "I see her fully grown, and she is standing, and she is going to destroy you"? And
that would be cool.
That would be cool, and it would be just a really great way that they would just slice that all together. And I really enjoyed that, quite frankly, because it was such a nice scene. It might not be in the movie. We might not have actually even seen Allura's mother in the film, but I felt it was just a really great thing, and everything looked like it was from the original film. So if it wasn't in the original film, they did a really great job reproducing the original film. And I love that there's so much of it that is just pulled from that original film, that you see it replayed, and they make it look real within this world. And that's a cool thing, and you also see a lot of, the way that the castle Nockmaar is getting into their brains and looking for the weak spots and exploiting them and playing them out. But one of the things I thought was so interesting was Graydon, when they remove his shirt and they see all this scarification all over his body.
In some sort of sigil.
Yes, exactly. And he's like, I was very sick as a child. Something shameful.
And then when he sees a vision of his father says, give me back what you stole from me. What does that mean?
Well, I mean, we see that later, because we see when Willow does eventually.
Oh, you mean the older brother?
Well, we see the older brother. Yes, so clearly
So that's what the father meant. You took from me, is you took from me my eldest born.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe there was some weird dark power that he was harvesting and somehow he got it and the father didn't, or something like that.
No, I think
Oh,
because what it seems to be is obviously he and his brother were up in the tree.
Right.
And he, of course, was the weak and small child. And his brother tells him there is so much more to being a king than just being strong. And that you are far smarter than I will ever be. And but don't worry, you can do this. You can accomplish what you need to. And then says, and don't worry, I'll catch you if you fall. And then we see later, so spoilers for this episode we're reviewing, when you see the memory replay in Alora's mind, you see this scene where the elder brother is reaching out to the younger brother, and then you see that lich go across the young Graydon's face, and he pushes his brother from the tree.
Now, so was the lich there with him the whole time?
Well, that's the question. Is that how he has been told to remember it? Because when his brother fell from the tree, they said, you did this. And he's like, I didn't do it. And they just ingrained in him this idea that you were possessed by a demon, and that's why you killed your brother.
Either that, or they're trying to set up an opposite end of the spectrum's love story between Alora and Graydon.
That's a possibility too. I do think that one of the things we are going to see by the end of this is possibly Alora's temptation by the dark side. That there is this reality that, that Bathmora and the others, they're tools for the crone, but what the crone really wants is to corrupt the light within Alora. And that maybe in that way it can truly defeat evil.
The prophecy.
Exactly. And then within this, we start to see Willow's tall tales of how he saved the world become undone when we see effectively that he had nothing to do with Bathmora's death, that she just got distracted and knocked over her own spell and got struck by lightning. That it was really just wacky circumstances.
He Kramered his way to a win.
Yeah, well, a win's a win, Mozz. A win's a win.
Indeed. Can't take that away from nobody.
No, and that's the thing. But you can tell that he feels like when he tells people the truth, that he fears he won't be respected. And he fears that, and this is the thing, these are all the fears deep within us, the things that hide us. Now, we know he is a sorcerer with some power. We have seen him smack people back with it, though it takes everything out of him to do it. And you can see that, people worry, like, why did they have to go underground? And the probable short answer is because you didn't extend the borders of your bad magic keep out to include our village, So, and I'm guessing they didn't want magical people like short beings being in their walls. So
Yeah.
as you break it down, there's probably a lot of little things you go, oh, okay, maybe maybe they're not as good and noble as they appear.
Right, right. Kid is having to confront that, be like, am I the bad guy?
Yeah, well, because maybe she is, or maybe her mother is, because that's the thing. I'm still wondering about the mom. Is the mom kind of corrupted in her own way? And how is this all playing itself out? But
Considering what we see at the end with Eric, what did you think the meaning of that was?
um
When Eric
oh
wakes up
oh
and his
yes,
cell is open and he walks out to this bright light and Black Hole Sun
yeah,
by Soundgarden is being covered by this beautiful voice.
yeah,
Black Hole Sun, won't you come? Won't you come? It's like the crone
yeah,
calling him in. It seemed to me like they were indicating that she's going to succeed in corrupting him and that he's going to be the evil bad guy, which clears the way for Alora's allegiances to him and opens the door for her and Graydon to get something going.
yeah. I mean, there's lots of possibilities what could happen. I mean, what I was looking at that. Was trying to figure out what we were seeing there.
Right.
Was that supposed to be I don't think it's the castle that we left, because
No.
there's part of me that was thinking that was like the castle destroyed. And in fact, what it actually reminded me of was, if you remember in Black Adam, when you see the original, like the two arms reaching out to make the bridge,
Yeah.
part of it looked like that. I don't think we saw that in the original thing of this. So you kind of get this idea that he has been left alone here, and it is that loneliness that, of course, may well corrupt him.
It's that magical purgatory world where they send people that they don't want to deal with.
Yeah, or will you have to face yourself?
Yeah.
And what is more frightening than that?
Mm.
But yeah, so it does come up that basically there's some great little working bits here where basically they can't find Deadly Nightshade. Willow says, if you don't have Deadly Nightshade, this won't work. And then Allure basically says, here's what we can use as a replacement. If we get a possum bladder, we can cook that down, because all they do is eat Deadly Nightshade berries. So all the essence of Deadly Nightshade will be in the bladder. I don't know if that's true, and I don't know if that's why it didn't work.
But at least the pseudoscience is pretty sound. I appreciate it. I was like, hey, what a scientific way to think about things. I loved your solution for that. That was great.
Well, exactly. Well, and this is the advantage of growing up in the kitchen. And in fact, like repeatedly, we see that because she grew up in the kitchen, she knows how to do certain things, and she knows how things fit together, and she knows how to extract what you want to extract. And if you're looking for extract of Deadly Nightshade, well, this is where you would find whatever you're extracting from it, because it's going to be in the bladder of the possum. So
cooking is quite close to alchemy if you do it well.
Yeah, well, exactly. And that's what they do here. And I do think it does work, because it clearly is causing Graydon pain.
Yeah.
I did find it interesting that Thraxus is so obsessed with picking the lock.
Borman?
Yeah, Thraxus Borman. And picking the lock.
Yeah. And I love the little red herring they throw your way that you kind of confuse. You don't know what is going on, because are they hallucinating? Is there some sort of evil power? Or underneath the castle, is there a giant spore of psychedelic mushrooms that's sending out spores that's making everybody go crazy? Or was Borman really drunk on that whatever was in that ancient bottle? Right. So you don't know where any of this is coming from, which kept you on your toes. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. And but it's also interesting because he actually doesn't get anything he fears. The only thing that really sets him off is realizing that he doesn't have the battery for the shield, for the armor.
That's interesting, because everybody else is motivated by fear. They're motivated. What makes them move is to run away from something. Borman's the only one that what makes him move is curiosity.
Yeah.
Like he's running towards something. That's how you move Borman, is moving
Yeah.
towards
Well,
something. Everybody
arguably
else, you
Greed.
move them by showing something that they should run away from.
Yes. Yes. Or like I said, yeah, but Borman, it's Greed. It's like, what is behind the door?
Yeah. Yeah.
What's behind door number one? And you hear all of the, and I just love because it had all these like layers of whispers, and you can't quite make out what they're saying, but it's like, some of them made it sound like there's something scary behind the doors. Other made it sound, oh, come on over, Borman, and it is interesting how they play it, and you can see that it's really messing with his head, but we do see Allura come back after she has run away, and she's had her own adventure where she sees her mother and has all of those flashbacks. And we see that Willow is gone and Graydon is fine. And he basically says, yeah, the good news is he got it out of me. The bad news is it went to him. And now we have to do the ritual on Willow to save him. And, you're the only one that can do it, Allura. And that's, where we get the big reveal. You did make the plan. I did see it. You can do this.
Finally give her the moment to be like, all right, I'll be a human being. Okay.
And or maybe that happens a little later when they all wind up there at the tower at the end. But either way, they're all because they go up to the tower and then they realize, why are they going to the tower? We were told never to go to the tower.
So where was Willow this whole time?
Willow was, I don't know. I guess maybe Willow did get pulled away by something. Or maybe, maybe as he was doing the magic, Graydon broke free.
Yeah, how did he get out of those chains? Did somebody let him out or?
That's an interesting question. Or maybe he basically says, oh, you did it. You did it, Willow. I'm free.
Yeah.
Oh, truly, you are a great sorcerer, Willow. You saved me. And then as he's unlocking him, he's like, nope,
Wow.
Yes.
Because he's quite strong in this state.
Yes, exactly. So I do wonder if that's something that happens. But we get there, they're doing the ritual of the 13th night to send her into the alternate dimension. But of course, it all gangs anon, because this is only the 4th episode. And I think we have 4 more to go. So, yeah, well, it's a good series, but it's a short one. It's just enough to get you tempted and interested, and then we'll move on to our next show after that. But in it, they get into the big fight. They realize that the heroes do come at the end, and Will says, "I'll defeat you just like I defeated Bathmore the last time with my friends," because the power of friendship, Mozz.
And ghosts.
And ghosts. And they do defeat him, and that's where it gets to that point where Allura uses just the power and pulls the leech out, has it pass through her, and burns it off.
Is that what happens?
Yeah. Because you see, she goes up to him and just,
I thought it went into her. I thought that's how the lich moved. It went from him to Willow, or no, it actually didn't. That was just all a big game, right?
It was a big ruse.
Right.
It goes from Graydon to Allura, but then you see Allura, you see it sort of burn out of her back. And at first I'm thinking, whoa, what's it going in here? But when it sits in there, her own magical defense is just like, I'm Allura Janin, man. Don't F with me, you lich. And throws him out. But we do see Willow go, no! Because
why?
Well, because he's worried that pulling in the lich might corrupt her.
Yeah, and it probably sends out a GPS tracking signal when she actually uses her powers without the spells. The spells are probably a way to harness the power anonymously.
That's a possibility too. Yeah. There's a lot of interesting possibilities here, Mozz. And I will say this, I'm really enjoying the series. I think that it gets, it really, it's one of these things. It's a really good series, but it's not getting anyone up in arms. it's
Good.
not getting everyone like wound up, and so it's just losing that fandom engagement.
Well,
That
it's also 8 episodes, and that's what you get when you put everything out at once, too. Or did they
yeah,
not put this out at once?
I don't know. I really don't know, and who knows? Maybe there's more than 8 episodes, and we're just catching up with it. But I'll have to see next time I check because I'll know if there's a 9th episode.
Hmm.
But I don't know. Any final thoughts on tonight's episode, Maz?
Yeah, just I think this whole episode was designed to make you ride the journey of hating her to maybe going, hey, is there hope for her? But one of
Yeah.
my favorite lines was when Borman says there, he goes, hey, your grandmother would be very proud of her granddaughter right now. And he
Yeah.
walks off and like, oh, burn, Mike. And
Yeah.
she feels it too. It's like, oh man, just everything that she has deep down inside that she feels guilty for, just brought it right to the surface and said, here. Ah,
Exactly.
that was such a great moment.
It was a great moment.
Good.
And yeah,
Borman's
I mean,
growing on me, and like the chemistry between the characters is getting really, really entrenched and very interesting.
mhm.
So, yeah, I'm digging it.
Yeah, and I do like I do like Kit and Jade's interaction
Yeah,
because I do think that they are coming more into their own um uh portrayal of like they're coming into their own now more as equals instead of what they were, which was basically, trainers, and she
yeah, I
felt
saw it. I saw it more so like I don't have to pretend that you're my equal, and I don't have to pretend that I'm your equal, right? She's my princess, and she goes and I've always wanted to be a knight. I've always wanted to do this, and she's finally taken that role, but in an honest way, right? She doesn't have to pretend like Kid is anything but like who I serve, and that makes it clean and easy to think about. And for her, she doesn't have to uphold her false sense of who she is anymore. So we can be real with each other, understand our roles, but be more honest. So that's kind of nice.
okay. I'm not sure if I 100% agree with that, but I get that. Oh, quick shout out. The person who plays the older brother is actually Mario Revelori. So who plays Dermot. So that is actually Flash Thompson's older brher.
That's cool.
Yeah, so good for him. I don't know if he's done other work. Let me just see this real quick. But I guess they said, hey, can we get someone who looks like this guy's brother? And
I might know a guy.
yeah. Oh, let's see here. He was in Please Stand By, Off the Menu, You, Me, and Dupree. Oh wow, yeah. Well, it looks like he's mostly done like a little bit of small bits.
That was a surprisingly heartfelt and enjoyable movie.
Yeah. Oh, which one? Oh, You, Me, and Dupree.
Yeah.
Yes. He was the second grade boy billed as Mario Quinones. Okay, so he's also in Room 104. Last
But I'd
summer.
almost watch anything Owen Wilson's in. So
yeah. Oh, he played a dude in Glow. So yeah, he's had a lot of smaller parts, but here we go. He got to be his brother's brother, so good for him. All right, so I just want to let people know if they enjoyed this show, if they enjoy what we give them here at Capes and Lunatics, they can go to capesandlunatics@gmail.com, write us a letter, tell us what you think of Willow and all of the gang. Likewise, call us at 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES, where you can actually leave us a voicemail, which we will play on the air if you ask us, or if you let us. And of course, go to Linktree, linktr.ee/CapesandLunatics, where you can see all of our merch, buy things like travel mugs, phone cases, awesome t-shirts, and of course, you can give us money through either Cash App or become a Patreon, where you get free new videos for $5 a month before anyone else. And Mozz, if people want to reach out to you and talk to you, how can they do so?
Oh, they can email me at mozzmanzor@gmail.com or find me on Facebook under Mozz Manzor. That's MOZZMANZOOR.
And of course, you can always write to me in that old-fashioned email way, where our mothers and fathers once did, at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, @gmail.com. And of course, follow me on the Twitter when I live tweet things when I feel like it, at Charlie Esser. That's CharlieEsser. Look for the 2 E's in the middle.
For quality. Bing.
Thank you, Mozz. All right, you lovely land lovers. We have come to the end of another grand adventure here on Full Stream Ahead. Come back again next week as we once again sail what I just said, Full Stream Ahead. Good night. Arg.
All right. Should we stop recording to the cloud? Yes, I am.